Let's get it. America, it's about time to end this damn show. I got to work in the morning. Don't get me wrong. I got a whole other bottle of Screwball that's sitting on top of the freezer right now. But if I touch that, I'm not going to work, and the F-bomb is about to start flying, which is probably going to happen anyway.
Hey, Chris, slide now.
America, the screwball has now kicked in. So this will be the time. If you are 18 and under, you may want to turn this section off. And this is the part where we're trying to be super positive too. But if you're 18 and under, the F-bomb is about to start flying.
Yeah, that goes for you, Cade. Okay, I know your mom told me you love the show, but and now I'm just playing, man. You watch as much as you want, man. You a genius. You know your Uncle Walt loves you. So
fuck it then, Cade. This is the time shit you want to watch. Let's fucking go. All right.
I want to finish this off and get through this last segment. It's not even getting through it. I've enjoyed it. It's been very, very interesting to see Chris Turner without a guest on some of our topics. It's been fun. But this last one is one that I know he wanted to talk about that I put on my list of about 7 or 8 topics. We just kind of picked through the ones. Yeah. And we spent a little time on them before, but, I mean, let's really talk about the guy. And make you as America understand really what it's done. And I think even more so, give credit to that organization as well. But Mike Tomlin and what he has been able to accomplish since he started his coaching career with the Pittsburgh Steelers is something Chris Turner really was wanting to really kind of spend a little bit more time on. And
yeah.
Now that he is feeling himself at the utmost, I think
properly, I believe the phrase you're looking for is properly sauced.
Okay, all right. Since he is properly sauced.
All right, America. Check this out. So I go to work on CP time. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's colored people time. All right, I'm supposed to work from like 8 to 5. I usually get into work about 9 o'clock ish. So I get a little chance to watch like Sports Center, and I get a chance to watch First Take, get up in the morning. And they were talking about Mike Tomlin. Now, normally we don't take our cues from any other show. We talk about what we want to talk about, because if we talk about what we want to talk about, typically is what you want to talk about.
Word.
But I heard them talking about Mike Tomlin this morning, and I heard a couple stats. One stat in particular that I didn't realize. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
Just take that in for a second. Never had a losing season. The man is a winner. The winningest black coach of all time. Take that in for a second. Now, mind you, unjustifiably so, there hasn't been that many great black coaches. And that's because of opportunity, but we'll go down that whole road another time. They quoted Mike Tomlin 3 times, and it was so good, I rewinded the show to hear what they said. First one, the standard is the standard, which means the way we do things is the way we're going to do things regardless. Regardless of who we're playing, regardless of what our record is, the standard is the standard. That's the first thing that they said. They couldn't have said anything else after that, and it would have been perfect. But then they dropped 2 other jewels, and it was just like, damn, okay. The next one, excuses build monuments to nothing. Self-explanatory. Because if you're making excuses about everything, what are you building towards? And the third one, and possibly my favorite, excuses are the tool of the incompetent. That set my workday off in the best possible way. because it's so easy to make excuses. It's so easy to have a reason why you don't need to do anything. It's so easy to sit in the bathroom and get on Facebook for 45 minutes and nobody knows where you are, which is typically what I do sometimes. But after hearing Mike Tomlin this morning, this may have been my most productive day since I've been promoted into this role. Once again, I will never mention where I work and what I do, mainly because I get paid a decent amount of money to do what I do, and I refuse to let these folks fire me for this until we make it, and then I might say kiss my ass. But, and also because my boss listens to this as well. And I don't mean like my boss at like the lower level. I mean like my corporate boss who doesn't even stay in this state. So shout out to you, sir. Thank you for the job. I'll be to work tomorrow on time. I get to work at 8 o'clock a.m. All that being said, Mike Tomlin does not get the credit that he deserves. Think about that Steelers team from last year. They were terrible and still finished 500. Without a Big Ben, without a Le'Veon Bell, without an AB, with new acquisitions and a 11th grade quarterback playing quarterback in the NFL. Like, they still finished 500. Think about the lineage of teams that the Steelers have had. The Bill Cowher years, the Steel Curtain, and those coaches have had losing seasons somewhere in that route. Now, Mike Tomlin, think about the black coaches that have come through the NFL. Danny Green, Tony Dungy. They've had losing seasons, but not Mike Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin does not get the credit, the respect, the fortune he has amassed being a coach is not even close to where he deserves to be. He's a top 5 coach, period. And don't get me wrong, top 5 coaching doesn't always get you 3 or 4 Super Bowls because sometimes the sun has to align with the moon and everything else to get you those Super Bowls. But
every time it has to do that.
But Mike Tomlin has been to the show. He has gotten the ring. Like, he's been there. But at the same time, he's won. And that speaks to something because, let's be honest, a year or two ago, he was on the hot seat. Why? I have no idea. Because he wins, regardless of what product is put out there on the field, coronavirus, lockouts, whatever. Quarterback is hurt. Your starting running back wants to be out. Your starting receiver goes fucking nuts during the season. All right, all that happens. All right, screw it. What else we got? The standard is the standard. Go ahead, Walt.
You know, I thought that was really good stuff, man. All I'm going to do is tack on to it. I've always had an appreciation for Mike Tomlin. You know, America, and it's never going to be lost upon somebody like myself or even Chris, you know, to have somebody to be, you know, that well-intentioned, that respected, you know, that looks like you. Unfortunately, we still live in a world where that just it matters to guys like us. And it's not to always make this show that way, but it's the truth of the matter. And when Mike Tomlin was hired, he was young. Mike Tomlin's 48 years old. He's been coaching the Steelers since 2007. And on top of that, he took over for a team that had just won a Super Bowl. You understand, like, what type of pressure that is to – here's one of our longest tenure coaches who was was a very good coach. Bill Cowher was a very good coach.
Very good
Same
coach.
type of level. Did not lose a lot. They had a lot of winning seasons. His teams competed. And he smartly said, I got my Super Bowl. I'm out. Like, it took me 15 years, like deuces. Mike Tomlin won his Super Bowl within the first 3 years of his coaching. which is insane that they were able to do that. And this is the stat. This is something I read while we were, kind of getting ready for this, Chris. This is Mike Tomlin to me in a team. I was reading this a little bit just to have a little bit more about him. I know about the wins. I knew about the no losing seasons. He's either been 500 or he's been above 500 for 14 straight years. Including this year, it's his 14th straight year, which is okay. Anybody that knows football knows the name Dick LeBeau and what it means to defense. Dick LeBeau is arguably the greatest player coach to ever play the game of football.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of Steelers fans that know of Dick LeBeau, the coach, just because of the players he's coached. Dick was on, honestly, I believe both those title teams. I want to double check that before
I'm just about certain he was.
Yeah, Dick was on both those title teams. He was on Cowers and Tomlinson's title team, okay? So he's revered, okay, like revered when it comes to Pittsburgh lore and within the circle, He's the guy that basically created the zone blitz. Let's just call it. Like, the zone blitz is a staple, and Dick LeBeau created it. On top of that, as a player, I believe he finished third or fourth all-time in interceptions, America, because I'm talking about Dick LeBeau and how dope he is. Interceptions, yes. I'm going to see where he's at on the career list. Right now, as we're talking, you got to love computers. Give me 2 seconds. And let's see here. Do I get a list? Nope, can't find a list. But nonetheless, those 62, insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. That's like minimum. Let me just give myself, Chris, let me give myself a little bit of it. Dick LeBeau finished top 5 all time in career interceptions, and he's still up there around there, top 5.
Yeah.
So this is who we're talking about. So when Mike Tomlin came in, here's a young, fresh guy who coached defense. He's a defensive coordinator who was an offensive player by what he did. He played receiver. And thanks to Tony Dungy and the Tampa 2, turned himself into a great defensive mind, right? Dick LeBeau does not run the Tampa 2.
No.
The only coaches that run the Tampa 2 coached under Tony Dungy and Monty Kiffin. Nobody else runs it. Nobody else runs it. Mike Tomlin had the ability to go, you know what? I don't agree with Dick's philosophy, but he's Dick LeBeau. And he just won a Super Bowl with these guys.
Respect.
Let me keep him as a defensive coordinator. See, what Chris Turner talked about in other shows here is that's the making of a true head coach, is to understand, it's all about having the parts that can get us to be the machine that we need to be. I mean, Mike Tomlin, he's driving. He's driving that tank. Dick LeBeau was the engine.
Yeah.
And as a young coach to go, you know what? I don't necessarily agree. This is not how I've coached, but for him to know and understand his players on that side of the ball, because that side of the ball is what got him that first Super Bowl, because they had a young quarterback, to go, we're going to still need these guys. Quarterback will be older. We'll be better. So he got a chance to kind of pull those offensive chops back out. These are the things that get lost about Mike Tomlin. And these are things I didn't know until I actually looked him up. So it just adds to the mystique of a guy that's probably going to win his 150th game next week. I don't really see anybody. I don't have to look at their schedule. I know they're playing their cup. I mean, I would like to see Cleveland beat them just so I could be right. I'd like to see Baltimore beat them so I could be right about my 3 AFC North teams in the playoffs. But at this point, the only team that could beat them, I don't think they play each other this year. I don't think Kansas City plays them. Like, I don't know Kansas City's schedule that well.
I don't think
they
so.
play each other. Pittsburgh can easily go 16-0. They really can. Because the way they're built, they can run. They've got a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. One, he did it on the backs of others. One, he won on his back and took them down the field the way he did after that phenomenal Larry Fitzgerald touchdown, where I never thought I'd be rooting for the Arizona Cardinals. Man, I was rooting for him hard that night. I wanted Larry to get one. Okay? Like, this is Mike Tomlin. Like, this is just going to add to the mystique. Like, he's doing things like he's coming to rare air with this season. So pay attention to it because he's going to be there as long as he wants to be there. I think what he's proven to the Rooney family, who we all have a bunch of admiration for.
Respect, royalty in the NFL. Royalty.
They've done for creating opportunities for others. Matter of fact, they're one of the first teams to actually start a black quarterback. So
yep,
Pittsburgh has been involved in it early and often, and the Rooneys, we've got a lot of love for.
Respect.
We just do. You know, and if you don't know that about the Rooneys, and I'm talking, you know, saying to the culture, you need to go understand, like, you could easily be a Pittsburgh fan just because of that shit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need a team to cheer for, and you're like, oh, I don't have a team.
Pittsburgh.
Normally I would direct you to Chicago, but we're not giving anything to cheer about. I'd go choose Pittsburgh. And it ain't got nothing to do with their record, man. It has to do with the type of stand-up,
the culture
shit that they have. They've had 5 coaches, I think, in the history of their team.
Has it been that many? Has it been that many?
Let me see. If I go back and look at Mike Tomlin, because he's the last coach.
Yep.
since Coward.
Yep.
I mean, it was Chuck Noll before then.
That's 3.
Oh, excuse me, 16 coaches. Oops.
Even still, like, that's saying something.
You know what it is? It's in the last. That's my bad. America, my bad. I messed up. But they've only had 3 coaches in the last since Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. Those have been their coaches.
Now, in comparison, look at your Minnesota Vikings, your Dallas Cowboys, your Miami Dolphins. Like, in comparison, it's crazy, especially in that time span. That means your coaches are winning, your coaches are staying because your coaches are happy.
Yeah, let's do the math, Chris. I just looked up here. Chuck Noll became the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1969. Since 1969, the Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 coaches. They've had 3 coaches in 50 years.
Oh, that's saying something, dude.
You win for them, they'll ride with you. Like the wheels have to fall off. And I want to touch on what you said about Mike Tomlin being on the hot seat. That was the media saying Mike Tomlin was on the hot seat. Mike Tomlin wasn't on no hot seat. He's never had a losing season.
Never.
If I go and look at Bill Cowher's record, which I'm going to do right now thanks to the power of the internet and America, I'm the first to admit, I don't know everything all the time. Okay? I'm going to look at Bill Cowher's record. Oh, look at this. Bill Cowher had losing records in 1998, 1999, 2003. Now, don't get me wrong. Outside of that, he made the playoffs a bunch of times and went to a couple Super Bowls. Lost one, won one. But Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
Nope.
And if you don't recognize how good this guy's been, I mean, Chris Turner touched on it when he talked about the job he did with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges last year, that they were 8-8 and got that done. So if that can't tell you how good they are, when they basically had nothing to play for, he found a way to get to 500.
Nothing.
Mike Tomlin, in my eyes, he's just a quarterback away and finding the right guy to step up for Ben. Ben's gonna give him as much rope as he can in the next couple of years. But all he needs to find is that guy that can step in here. They're gonna need to take a first round pick probably in the next year, or trade for one of these young guys that are here and get them in the system. But dude, Mike Tomlin, man, shouts out to him, dude. And I just feel bad for him that he has to coach now in the Patrick Mahomes era.
Well, here's the thing about it. And you can look in like Pittsburgh's kind of history of drafting. They're going to find a quarterback. And it'll be this year in this draft. Because despite what people say, this year's draft is pretty nice with quarterbacks. All right. Now, I'm not saying, and I'm not even going to play like the home card and saying they're going to draft Mac Jones. I'm not saying that. But what they're going to do, Pittsburgh's recruiting, scouting guys, they're going to find what they need. For instance, my favorite player from Pittsburgh is Harrison, James Harrison. Do you know what school Harrison went to? I think it was it was a MAC school, I believe.
I think he went to either Kent State or Toledo.
I think it was Kent State. So, like, if you look at some of their main staple outside of, like, Heinz Ward, because Heinz Ward went to Georgia and stuff like that, and Juju went to UCLA or USC or something like that.
USC for sure.
But, like, a lot of their main staple guys are just, like, these small school guys that fit into what they do. Pittsburgh will find a quarterback that nobody's really checking for that fits what they need to do, who will be comfortable because Ben's going to play this year, next year, and depending on how next year goes, maybe a third. And then that's it. They're going to find their guy within, honestly, probably this year, who's okay with sitting, watching, and learning the Pittsburgh way. And when they do, because you'll have a mature Juju at that time, your defense will be coming to its own right now, let alone 2 years from now. You'll have James Conner, who will be – he's already a good running back, but he'll be more established, and they'll probably draft another one at that time. So Pittsburgh will be Pittsburgh. Now, granted, like Walt said, they are playing in the Pat Mahomes era. So, I mean, you'll do what you can do, but Pittsburgh's going to Pittsburgh. Period.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Good luck. It's tough. I wanted to look at Pittsburgh's history of drafting quarterbacks, and I was able to find it, Chris. And the recent history we do know, but in the first round, Pittsburgh has selected a quarterback 6 times in their history. They've been around since 1936. They selected Ted Marchibroda. It was the first time they ever selected a quarterback. Now, Ted Marchibroda used to coach in the league. Okay?
Okay.
They drafted another guy by the name of Gary Glick. Never heard of him, but he was the number 1 overall pick that year. Didn't pan out that well. This is how good they are when it comes to drafting quarterbacks in the first round. They drafted Lynn Dawson. I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Lynn Dawson's a Hall of Famer. Now, did he do it with Pittsburgh? Absolutely not. But
no.
This is 1957. Pittsburgh is the ability to evaluate talent. The next quarterback they drafted in the first round was another 13 years from then. A guy by the name of Terry Bradshaw.
He did okay. He did okay.
He's all right.
Yeah.
Next quarterback they drafted after that, I think was basically when Terry was thinking about getting out of there. They drafted Mark Malone, who used to be – I know Mark Malone as an analyst for ESPN more than being a quarterback for Pittsburgh. And then they didn't draft a quarterback in the first round again until the year 2004. And 6'5" guy from Miami of Ohio was there at number 11 by the name of Ben Roethlisberger.
So here's the fun thing about Mark Malone. Mark Malone was essentially like the buffer until they got like Phil. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. Oh God, he was there with Cordell Stewart, like right before Cordell Stewart.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like, thank God these weren't the Mike Tomlin years. These were like the Chuck Noll years after. Dude, they were not good.
No, they weren't.
They were not good years after Bradshaw left, and they refused. I think Mark Malone might have played there. I mean, shoot, as I'm clicking on stuff right now, let me see.
Malone was just a buffer quarterback.
Mark Malone, Mark Malone was their starting quarterback for 7 years, dude.
Jeez.
From 80 to 87. Like, he was their guy, and he was not very good. Decent broadcaster, not very good. When I say not very good, I'm talking career 60 touchdowns, 81 interceptions. Career quarterback rating of 61.9.
No bueno. No bueno.
Not very good in the league. So what Chris is saying that I can definitely get behind is when they do decide to take a quarterback in the first round, it's going to be the guy they need and the guy Mike likes.
Yeah.
I think they know the time is coming. Like, they've toiled and gotten guys in the second round, and let's just try to see if these guys work. And they've had auditions, and neither one of them played very well. So the time is coming. It may not be this year, maybe, you know what? Maybe they will trade up. Maybe they'll go, we'll get one of these guys. Maybe it's Spencer, whatever his face is, down in Oklahoma. I don't know. Maybe there's a kid coming. But, at the end of the day, or maybe there's a trade coming. Maybe they trade for Jordan Love up there in Green Bay or something.
That's what, honestly, dude, you read my mind because that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
There's some young guys that are just, they might just go, hey, come here. So, bottom line is, America, appreciate Mike Tomlin and what he is still allowing to have happen. Because it's guys like him that continue to succeed that are giving the Eric Bieniemys the opportunities that they deserve. It'll give the Anthony Lynn's the ability to deal with what he's had to deal with the last couple of years.
Yeah.
The fact that Romeo Crennel is still in terms of being interim head coach. There's a lot of things, that go on that unfortunately you guys don't necessarily see. But unfortunately has been brought to the attention of the world in the last couple of years of how we've treated each other as Americans. So thank God for what's good, America, because we out here trying to straighten this shit out, what I'm saying, with
Big
our
facts.
happiness.
Facts.
But Mike Tomlin, dude, we salute you once again, man, because when it's all said and done, at the pace you're going, you've never had a losing season. You're going to be the guy that ends up being the all-time winning coach. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Don Shula coached a long time.
Yeah.
So, like, Mike's going to have to coach another 10, 15 years. And Belichick's he's been running off double digits for
years.
Since 2001. So, this guy's basically won 10 games for 20 straight years himself, too, Bill Belichick. So, like, Mike's going to have to put this is going to help this year. But, he's 48, dude. He's 48 looking 37. Me and Mike Tomlin, we the same age. which is a damn shame. But salute to him, man. And glad that we got a chance to just give us props, man. It doesn't matter what
Big
happens
facts.
this season, Mike Tomlin. And, I think it's because of you, the Brian Flores of the world have gotten the opportunity to
Yep.
make me right on a prediction I made before the season started. So
That is very true.
looking
Very
forward
true.
looking forward to that game, because I tell you what, there might be an episode that pops out real quick if Miami can make it 4 in a row with Tua.
Tua time.
That whole episode might be the Miami Dolphins and Tua. I don't even know what we're gonna do, because
Tua time.
we're gonna have to
Tua time.
apologize. At least I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But actually, no, we're both
I will too.
apologize,
No,
'cause
yeah.
we
Well,
felt
I
like
will too. Yeah.
he goes 4-0.
That's saying something.
So,
All right.
America, it's time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. This dude talked to me off camera, and he said he had some shit to say to you, boy. And he said I wasn't gonna like it. So, we already know who's going first with the greatest segment in sports.
America. Now, I didn't say he wasn't going to like it. I said it was going to be just something a little different, something that gets a third eye waking up real quick. America, I don't have anything to sip, but I'm already properly sauced right now. So, America, give me a minute. For those of you of a certain age, of a certain melanin, of a certain culture, the movie House Party, okay? House Party 1, all right? I want you to think of the stars of that movie, Kid and Play, all right? It had Pam and Gina. Gina was in it. Martin was in it. And then who was the other young lady in it?
Oh,
Her name was
A.J. Johnson.
A.J. Johnson. What other movie do you know about A.J. Johnson?
Oh, I know. That's Baby.
What movie was it?
Baby.
Exactly. Okay. Now that third eye is open, let's bring it all together. All right. So, A.J. Johnson hooked up with Play in the movie, right? Boom. It is what it is. Play was the player. Kid ended up getting Gina. It's fine. Let's go full circle. A.J. Johnson is now a mom and baby boy. Who is the father of Tyrese in that movie? It's not Ben Brames. It's Play from Kid and Play. They never mention it in the whole damn movie. But they keep talking about, oh, well, your daddy's not around. Your daddy's not around. Play didn't seem like the type that would stick around for a kid. And if you look at it, here's the thing. If you look at it, that kid would have been about, like, Tyrese was like 19, 21, something like 21, 22 in that movie. That would have been around the same time that Play would have knocked her up in high school. Right after they graduated, she would have had the baby. Play pieced out. So, i.e., it gives Jody this whole complex about being a man and being a father because, hey, he doesn't know how to be a father himself because his dad pieced out. I go a long way to say Kid and Play is the prequel to Baby Boy, i.e., you know what I'm talking about? Play is Jody's dad. America, that's been my minute. Consider yourself informed.
That's what you thought about all day?
I've been thinking about that all day. All day. That shows you how productive my day is.
I'm not upset about that. That brought me so much joy. I did not know where you were going.
That's been on my mind all day. All day.
And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Man, I mean, Play. Come on.
Exactly. He's Jody's dad.
Hey, I hope Chris Martin watches this because if we get Kid and Play on the show,
it's a wrap.
I like how that's my new thing. If we get somebody on the show, we made it. We good. That's definitely one of them. That is for sure. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good. That's gonna be hard to follow because I've had a few floating in my head, especially with what happened tonight. I think you kind of helped me kind of.
I'm glad.
So
I'm glad.
here we go. No pressure to follow that up. Jody's daddy is play for house party.
Exactly.
All right. Peter. Have to follow that up, man. Damn. All right. Here goes nothing. America. Give me a minute. So, just kind of based on what Sir Christopher Turner dropped knowledge in that era, I'd like to stay in that era. And I think I'm going to talk about something that might be controversial just based on my age. But I feel like it's the truth, and I feel like it's where we're at right now. I think the lack of Saturday morning cartoons has been the issue with America. I don't know if there's much to say after that. Obviously you've seen me, Batman shirt, you've seen me, Kelly Kapowski shirt, you've seen the Nicktoons shirt, Ninja Turtles here and there. But think about our generation. I saw a meme that was so true that said 80s babies were perfectly built for the pandemic because you know why? We're the generation that were told to figure it out yourself.
Yep.
Go outside and play. Like you got to do what you got to do to make time. And you know what a majority of us did? Whether it was some of us that were affluent enough to have the cable in the house. Thanks, Mom. And those that knew how to manipulate that hanger to get those 3 or 4 channels on their TV. You know what was coming on that TV in the morning? Whether you were drinking your cereal with milk or you were drinking it with water. Saturday morning cartoon.
Facts.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I have no children in this world, but I can guarantee you that my kids will be watching DVDs of Tom and Jerry, the Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons,
Good man.
Thundercats, He-Man and the Masters Universe, Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
I could go on forever. I mean, I'm the guy when you play King's Cup and you get the categories. I'm the guy that always came up with the coolest of all time category. Cartoons. And I didn't have to just say, like, just name the cartoon show. I'd be like, you can name a cartoon character. You keep that thing going for an hour if you've got the right mix of 80s babies. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because we'll always be young, fly, and flashy. This is true. Shout out my boy Grant Agbo. Now, with that being said, I do want to touch on something else after that, because it's the truth. Patrick Williams, welcome to Chicago. But I'm going to tell you right now, America, I will always love what's on this hat. I'll always believe in what's right here. Chi-Town will forever stand up. But I mean, my sports teams make it hard, man. Hard. What happened to drafting the player of the year in that spot? Remember 1984, we drafted the player of the year in that spot? You know, we got 13 years out of him, 6 championships, 5 MVPs, couple dunk contests, defensive player of the year. The only player to ever win defensive player of the year, MVP, the slam dunk contest, all-star MVP in the same year. It'll never be done. What happened to just like, you know what? This guy was the best I saw. When did we get so hung up, America, on potential? Because if that was the case, if potential was the case, I'd be rich. And everybody knows I'm broke as a joke. It's a no-no. Maybe see me on Facebook like, well, no wonder he's got his fiance in the picture. At least she probably got something going on. He broke as hell. Like, it's a no-no in America. We know what's going on here. But I'm sick of it. I am this close. Okay, I'm like this close. I might have to start going out of state and rooting for teams. Like I'm getting there. Like I'm starting to get frustrated on certain sports. Football and basketball mainly. Baseball, I'm good. I'm good with that. I got a World Series in my lifetime. I'm a Cubs fan for life. Blackhawks gave me 3 Stanley Cups. And I ain't into hockey like that, but I'm good for life. Hell, even the Chicago Fire won an MLS Cup. I'm good. But I'm putting you on notice right now. Chicago Bears and Chicago Bulls. You either this Williams kid who I watched and didn't even realize he was really that guy. So he better be that guy. This better be some Russell Westbrook type stuff with this pick. Okay. If not, man, things are really looking interesting in New Jersey. Oh, oops, my bad. I'm so old. I meant Brooklyn. I said New Jersey. Hey, that's how you know this sauce is kicking in, boy.
It ain't kicked in, man.
Hey, it's looking real good in LA. I got 2 teams to choose from. Hey, Denver's not looking too bad right now.
Nope.
Why don't I go jump on the Dallas bandwagon and go hang out with Team Europe down there?
That's what it is, too.
And you know how I feel about Jimmy Butler.
Buckets.
I basically root for Jimmy anyway. So that's easy.
Come on home, baby. We'll take you. Come on home.
All I got to say is this. 2 things to take away from what I've talked about, because all of it most likely sounds like gibberish the way it's been put together. Not very, very well done by me. But 1, America, our kids need to get back to watching the cartoons we grew up on.
Yeah.
We need more Voltron in our lives and less Doc McStuffins. Nope, I'm kidding. Keep Doc McStuffins in because that's black. Keep that in. We need more. We need more Defenders of the Earth and G.I. Joe, and we need less SpongeBob SquarePants.
Agreed.
And then the second takeaway is Chicago. Just hire me as a GM for either one of these things. Like, get me in the personnel department. Lord knows I know talent. I got Chris Turner to come do this podcast with me. I mean,
he did.
I told him we need to do this shit. He was like, "You're right." He was smart enough to go, you know what? That guy's going to get me to be Billings famous. I'm just going to follow him to the radio station one day. This is the guy they send in.
Exactly.
Hire us as a GM tandem because we will agree and disagree with each other, but we will get the best players.
Exactly.
And you only have to worry about me living in Chicago. Chris ain't coming.
Hell no.
He'll do everything like the way we're doing it right now.
That's a fact.
Such an incomplete give me a minute, but that's where I'm at, America. Bring back the old school cartoons and Chicago basketball and Chicago football and pros. Get your shit together. Because I'm seriously I'm this close. I'm this close. I'm this close. Let's give it a go.
So Chicago, you have been put on notice.
You've been
Screwball, you're empty and you've been put on notice as well. This has been another episode of Give Me a Minute. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. The sauce is probably in there. This has been an episode of What's Good America. That was Give Me a Minute. The sauce has kicked in.
Hey, and Chris, I mean, let's just be honest, man. Thank you to everyone. And thank you to those that have spoken up on our behalf because we got some things coming. We got some stuff on the pipeline, man. I think it's going to be really exciting for our listeners that have been there and have supported us. I think we got some good things coming, and we're excited, man. We're excited to keep this thing rolling.
And as Walt and I play off of each other, and Walt's the most gracious, humble co-host that we possibly could have.
Oh man,
I will take my cue from Conor McGregor. I would like to take this time out to thank absolutely nobody. So, with all that being said, this has been episode, let's call it 43.
We up there.
Of What's Good America. There's content coming out every day this week.
Man.
Period.
Man.
Point blank period. There's content coming out. So make sure you follow the YouTube page, what's called What's Good America. Make sure you follow the Facebook page, What's Good America. Make sure you go to the Anchor app. What's it called? What's Good America. Chic workwear. Where do you think we get all this high class ass fashion from, you bitch?
Shout out.
You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you call your local David's Bridal. Tell them that you're looking for What's Good America. They're gonna act like they don't know what you're talking about, but then again, they might know what you're talking about if you call the one here in Billings. So,
hey, I'll do you one better. How about this? Go to Screwball Whiskey's Facebook page. Go to Screwball Whiskey's Instagram page, and tell them because we've seen Chris Turner and James Walton having so much fun drinking your drink on the show. We wanted to stop by getting love. Let them know, and then tag What's Good America, or tag me, Wames F Baby, on Instagram, or tag us on our Facebook pages. Cristobal Turner, What's Good America, our page there that he does a great job with, or the James Madison Walton III, the government name, because I want people to know it's me.
So go to Screwball's page.
Let Screwball know.
And tag us in it, and let them know that What's Good America.
Exactly.
Period. So with all that being said, that is James Big Game Madison Walton III. I am the pseudo-sexual ebony god himself, C. Turner. This is episode whatever of What's Good America. And all we want to know is, what's good, America?
What's good, America?